earlier.
I did yesterday.
I did them yesterday. TK, I tried your old tactic, mate. Putting some low ball offers when they were at 1.2, I think. Nobody accepted any. So yeah, fair enough.
Ouch. All right, what do you say, guys? Should we start it?
Let's go, champ.
Let's go.
Perfect. All right, welcome everyone. Everyone is having a great day. If you haven't seen already, we're gonna have Descendants with us today, which is our only project for the day. I'm super excited, and rumors say that we are going to be blessed with flu balls as well. So let's get some good questions to the artist behind this beautiful art. If anyone has any questions, just request and I will bring you up. It's very encouraged to ask questions, so feel free to come up. I think we'll go for about an hour, maybe less. Going to talk about everything regarding Descendants, art, the utility, token, and of course the lost Descendants coming here very soon. Yes, perfect. Again, welcome everyone. First off, I got to know I guess it's up on the Descendants account. What happened to the poker?
Correct.
I was playing. I think I was one of the first to finish, to get kicked out. Who won?
Walt or OG, help me out again. Who was the winner? It was not me, so I left soon after I busted.
His name started with a T. I forget exactly who it was. I got bounced pretty early as well. Tifosi, maybe?
It was a total success. We had over, I think, 36 or close to 40 entries. It was super fun. We intend to do more of those community-driven events, especially regarding our Lost Descendants mission, because they always drive the hype and the engagement up.
I missed it by a couple minutes. I missed getting in.
Well, that's too bad. Yeah, I was only in for a couple minutes. Yeah, Tifosi 34. I think he's actually in here in Spaces. Yeah, he's a listener. Congrats on your ticket, Tifosi.
And Flu Boss is also in here, FYI. He snuck in here.
Oh, let's go. Bring him up. He's a hard man to reach, the traveling artist. Well, we love it since he always comes back with a huge amount of inspiration and creativity.
The art speaks for itself. All right. Yeah, just to start it, I think most of the people in here right now is familiar with the project. But if anyone is new, just give us a quick, what is Ancestors and Descendants?
To make it quick, basically, we're an art, lore, and community-driven project. We have successfully launched 2 collections already. One with a size of 100, the other one close to 3,000. We minted them both out successfully, and we're in the process of releasing our 3rd collection, which is called The Lost Descendants. But they will not be available via Sol, but with our native token DNA, and there'll be fun community engagement events scheduled around it. And yeah, come check us out if you haven't already. Ask any questions in Discord, but that's probably how I could describe it the best.
Yes, that's a perfect brief. How did this come to life? I know you and Flu Boss is the foundation, right? And it started, is it like 5 months ago now, with the Ancestors, right? How did this idea come to life?
Well, it started way back actually in like Q3, Q4 of 2021 when I just joined this whole NFT space, and without me knowing, Flu Boss joined as well and was interested, and by faith we connected since we are like real life buddies from back in college, and I knew Flu Boss was super talented, and I wanted to make a project, and I knew exactly who to go to, so I just hit up Flu Boss, and he was all game for it, and he started drawing. He started showing me his portfolio that he had, and I immediately recognized where his passion laid. That was in the whole cultural tribal thing, and we just basically agreed that he can start drawing, and the Ancestors came to life, and we went from there. Also, our co-founder is Solution. He's our in-house dev. He went to high school with me actually, and he was basically the smartest brain I knew, and I knew we needed a talented dev, so I reached out to him, and he was on board as well, and we've been going ever since. Maybe if Flubos wants to add something from his side of the story, we can bring him up as a speaker.
Yes,
So,
Lubos, welcome.
can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Yeah, it's I'm glad. Thanks for the invitation. Very glad to be here. Yeah, there's not too much to add to Up's description basically, but for me, everything really came together because I just finished my studies of culture anthropology, and I wanted to start NFTs before I knew Up, and then he reached out by coincidence, and yeah, then I created the Ancestors, the 100 one-on-ones, and it was really an exploration of different styles, but also expression of the cultural anthropology that I studied, where I mainly focused on Africa. And yeah, then with the Descendants, I got more creative and got more into futuristic side of it and tried to do something new. And yeah, now with the Lost Descendants, once again, I tried to do something new, but we will see soon how that turned out.
Yes, we're gonna dive deeper into the Lost Descendants as well. Super excited for this. Flubos, while you're at it, would you like, because I know you spent, what is it, like 10 hours or something on every single ancestor.
Yeah.
And I know you have a story to every single ancestor, right? What is it that you like? Because there is, I'm not an artist myself, so I don't know, maybe the ideas just come to you. But how do you find the inspiration, and especially for the ancestors, which then later lay the foundation for Descendants, right? How did you go to find this inspiration?
Yeah, I mean that's always probably one of the hardest questions. Where do my ideas come from? Like I said, most of it is probably from my studies, but then I also explore different styles. And I remember the time I did these one-on-ones, it was so intensive. When I started the 100, I think I was finished with the 10th one, and I was like, oh my God, I only have 10% now. And it was a huge amount of work. But on the other hand, it was overwhelming. This was, I think, in February or March from this year in the beginning. It was overwhelming the first few months where I remember we had like 300 followers in Discord or 300 members, and I was like, damn, that's incredible, a lot of people, because my whole life I wanted to become an artist, but I always was a little bit too shy, or art is also very personal. If you put it out there and people are not gonna like it, then it's you need to have, how to say, yeah, it's a personal thing, art. So at that time, it was really the first time all the people saw my art at the beginning of this year, and I got all this motivation from basically because I knew I thought this is the moment where I should shine as an artist, where I could really I really have to be productive and work all the time. And also the inspiration came because at that time I visited my now wife, then girlfriend, in Argentina, where she's from, and we traveled around Argentina, the beautiful landscapes, deserts, but also, well, it's not directly jungle, but very tropical vegetation. And yeah, from there also came some of the inspiration, I think. And yeah, I think that's most of it.
Just as a little side note, a funny story. I remember in the process of creating the 100 ancestors, Flubas told me he'll go on a little trip into the desert, and I think it was MIA for like 5, 6, or 7 days. I'm like, oh my God, we cannot. I'm scared we lost our artist. And then he came back. He had like 11 absolute banger pieces. So I just told him, hey, whenever you want to go to the desert or wherever again, just leave. Don't worry about us.
Yeah, that's actually where I got a lot of inspiration for the Egyptian ones, for the Egyptian ancestors from the desert, and I think it really helps if you really go into a different space or surround yourself in a different environment, and this gives you all a different energy. I think, at least for me, I think for every artist it could be different how to stay creative, but I'm always moving around, traveling. Now I'm in Italy calling you, so I'm always on the move, and yeah, I think this is really the inspiration is just all around you, and you don't really know what it is, where you take it from, but it's just the whole surrounding is the inspiration for me. Yeah.
It's very we speak to so many projects, speak to several projects a day, and we always talk about the art and what's the inspiration, I guess, behind the art. And there is not a lot of like actual artists talk about traveling and getting ideas and this finding inspiration in the art. It's a lot of times something that fits the collection just to that looks nice and fits with the collection. So it's such a refreshing take to actually see, and it speaks in the floor price as well, right? The ancestors minted for what is it, 7.5, which was very very high at the time. Sells for 40 Solana right now.
Yeah,
Yeah,
but
we
I
got
also have
currently.
to. Oh, sorry, I also have to add that also a big inspiration I didn't mention was, of course, other projects at the time that I looked up as inspired by them. Maybe thinking sometimes I could do this better, or especially with the Descendants, which is the generative collection. There was a huge inspiration with other generative collections and how I could, let's say, look what attributes they used, or and then of course in the end trying to improve on it, or make it twist on it, or make it even crazier, the combination of different attributes. And yeah.
Yeah, you see some of the most iconic attributes are also featured in our collection, like the laser eyes or the Solana glasses, just to pay homage to the whole space as well.
Yes, for sure. Is this, do you, Flubos, when you make this art, I think I remember it's made, you make it like, I guess, digitally, right?
Yeah, 100% digitally on Procreate on my iPad.
And is this something that you were like introduced, what started doing in NFTs, or have you been drawing like digitally prior to?
No, I started a long time ago. Actually, you can see on my YouTube channel if you want to go into my history. At the moment, it's vacant, but let me tell you a little alpha. There will be a video coming up soon on my YouTube channel. So yeah, I'm trying to revive my YouTube channel. But if you go to my YouTube channel, you see the first videos are drawing videos physically. But already, I think like 10 or 12 years ago, even I started first. I first was painting digitally on Photoshop, but at the time, 12 years ago, it was a lot more difficult to draw digitally. You had to buy a tablet for the computer. You had to have Photoshop, of course, which was expensive. So I have a huge history with digital painting and exploring well, different techniques basically. But of course, drawing on the iPad is also another thing, but not completely different. But yeah, it's a different program, of course. So yeah.
Awesome. So Flubos, are you full-time since you've finished your studies? Are you full-time artist right now?
Yeah, I'm trying to be a full-time artist, and so far, yeah, it works. I was really blown away by by this year, basically the whole start of the year until now, and yeah, let's see what's coming for the rest of the year. And I didn't actually study art. I studied, like I say, cultural anthropology and sociology, and was teaching myself art because for a moment I studied design and then I also studied art in college. But it was really I was the only one who knew how to paint in Photoshop, and we never painted in Photoshop, but only oil and all other things. And I really don't like. But I like sometimes to paint like traditionally with paint and all these things. But it's a lot easier for me to draw digitally because I don't know. You don't have to clean so much things, and you can go anywhere without any problem. You're very flexible. So yeah, yeah. What was the question?
I think no, but that was a perfect response. I can't like if you're a full-time artist.
Yeah. I try to be full-time artist, and so far it works. And yeah, I'm putting a lot of work into things that are not released yet. Actually, a lot of things are also experiments that I'm not sure if it's like good enough, or that maybe some things are too personal. So yeah, but there are some things in the production that I'm very excited about. That will come out quite soon, actually.
Nice. Looking forward to that. So what do you guys think, like Up and Blue Balls? Because the Ancestors minted for 7.5 Solana, as we said, even though the Solana price was way higher. But one Solana is always one Solana, right?
I
And
mean,
the Sun.
yeah, like I said, I was blown away, and actually, yeah, 7.5 was already high, but then we also had the auctions, and I remember Sopek, the first lizard, which is heavily inspired from the geckos and the Gossip Goblin's work. He sold in an auction for 36 SOL, which was at the time, yeah, like 3,600, and that was for me like the biggest thing to process, because it was basically the first auction ever for my paintings, and I huge congrats for Call Me Ishmael, who was bidding there and who won the auction. So that was for me the changing moment, and the moment I think, yeah, NFTs changed my life as an artist.
Goosebumps. Yeah, the ancestors have gotten quite on the roll, but we had our bumps in the road. I think the ancestors dropped to like 3.5 SOL in floor price with like 14 listed, and now we have I think like 15 or 20 sales above 20 SOL, and we have currently one listed. That's more than usual. Usually in the last week we have 0 listed, so we're super happy with the success we have. Also with the Descendants, and the Descendants minted for 0.6 SOL, and we're standing now at a 3 SOL floor, which is almost a 5x from the mint. And during those times, we're super pleased with our work, and especially with the community that we managed to surround around our project. So it's a lot of people say all the time, "Oh, you guys are always in chat. You're always active in Discord." And the only answer why is because we're having so much fun with the community, and it's such a blessing to be a part of it.
Awesome. Hi, did you have a question? Feel free.
Yeah, I just wanted to say, obviously, firstly, the art is incredible, and your artist has done an amazing job. But my perception of your project, you've also been able to drive serious value to your holders, with the structure you've put in place for the project, as well as, like you say, building such a close-knit community, that's so welcoming and like you say, fun. My question would be to Blue Boss, sort of with your success, are you always going to be with this team?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, like Up said, we're real life buddies, and we know each other for a long time. And I will always be continuing with this team, because this was just also a huge amount of their help to get me started. And also this, like you said, the revenue sharing aspect of it, the community building aspect, it all was Up's idea. Up really designed this whole roadmap basically. And also a huge shout out to Solution, the dev, who put so much work in it back in the Ancestors, where we had to reveal like the ancestors, because first, if you bought the minted ancestor, you had just a question mark, and then you had to wait a couple of, sometimes even weeks, until you got your ancestor revealed, which was such a nice twist to it, and really shows that NFTs have such a huge how to say capacity to change into completely new art forms, or to invent forms. So I will always be part of the team, but I'm planning to expand on it, and maybe try to get my own maybe form function or whatever channel started, and have some one-on-ones, and like I said before, I started this year with NFTs. I was continually in my free time making art, so I have a lot of art around, also physical art, which I could sell, but some of them are very personal. But I'm still in development of the roadmap. But to give the quick answer is, I will definitely stay with this team and continuing participating in the community, continuing producing art. Because also actually over this time, I grew very much fond of this universe too, like the Descendants and the Ancestors universe, like with all the attributes or the world behind it, together also with the lore that Kaiser is developing. which gives me new inspiration and builds this world that I'm motivated to develop further. Because I mean, at one point before I wanted to before I knew about NFTs, I wanted to become a concept artist, because that at the time was the only really way as a digital artist to survive. You have to work for a company, make things. So I'm really fond of creating this virtual universe, which like, gets a life of its own. So yeah.
That all sounds amazing, Brian. Yeah, I'm definitely stoked on your team. Just lastly up, I think your project's one of the only ones I've been in which I've seen deliver such sort of value in terms of monetary sort of rewards to your holders. How difficult was that? Because you seem to be setting a trend as one of the only projects that I've seen in my personal, doing that kind of thing.
Are you talking from a technical side of things? If it was difficult to distribute?
No, more in a financial sense, because being a part of your project kind of makes me think why other projects don't do similar things.
I mean, I was a part of many projects before I started my own. I started way back in September, and I just realized or tried to gather before I started the project what kind of values that thrive a project, and the community aspect is always number one for us or for me. So why not reward the community? Because without the community, like, the project is nothing. If nobody's a fan of the art, if nobody is a fan of the lore, if nobody wants to participate, we're nothing. So I will always put the community first in whatever venture we'll be doing in the future. So it was not difficult at all.
Thank you.
All right, awesome. So we've been talking a little bit about the art here, and also we talked about, maybe I can ask that first, like, because you're up since mint, right? The 5x on both of the collections almost. Why do you think what's the reasoning behind people wanting to pay more and more for your collection?
That's a good question. I think the community, first of all, convinces a lot of newcomers that come and chat. Our art starts to get out there. It's tough right now, or in this market that we are right now, to establish a new project, and it's not going to happen overnight. So we're working constantly on educating people what is good art, how much effort we put in, what can we offer, trying to get our roadmap out there. And the more and more people we convince, the higher the conviction grows of the community, and the higher they value it. But it's a process, and we're fine with that. But like, short term, I'm not at all concerned with floor price. I'm more concerned on how the community is doing, if they're still having fun being around. And from the looks of it, they have. Everybody's competing in our lore quests. Likes to reading the lore, participate or tweeting about our project. So that's the metric I'm going for, and that's also reflective in the price action of our project, I feel like.
Yeah, for sure, great response.
Yeah, I mean, also for me, I think it's very hard to answer, like, generalizing and why people like. I mean, I think for different people it's very different, but I like to believe, at least, that I think people maybe see that I really am putting all my creativity and my soul basically into the art, and maybe people can feel it if they look at it, and you can look at it longer than maybe other things that gets very quickly. You get bored by looking at it or something. I don't know. But also, it's an interesting thing, because in Solana, but I noticed in a couple times, you have this big division between one-on-one art and just Magic Eden collections. But I think our project is a little bit between these two, because we had the ancestors, which are 100 one-on-ones, and now also the Descendants were not just generated and then sold, but I really had painted a lot of attributes, and we also curated on top of that the best ones. So I think is this thing, if I watch into the one-on-one space, you have artists, and if they continue to grow and produce and get the next project out, they are growing, and with them also the floor price for this one-on-one artist is growing. And I think maybe that's also a reason why our project is doing very well, together, of course, with what Ab said about his community building aspects. And of course, you can also build community in a different way. I mean, at first, I think with Ancestors, we did an art contest or we did a lore contest, and these are very, I think, good to build a strong community. But yeah, so basically, it's different, very different kinds of aspects, I think, that lead to this success, basically.
Yeah, for sure. And have you guys seen, like, are you attracting, I guess different projects attract a certain type of person, right? Have you guys identified, like, okay, this is essentially our, perfect buyer?
I mean, I've definitely noticed that we have a very mature and welcoming and overall like awesome community, because I've been a part of many communities before, but I gotta say I like this one the most. So we're super happy with the people that we attract. We don't necessarily go for a certain type. Whoever enjoys our art and our community and our lore can come, basically. But it's been awesome hanging around those guys. So we're super pleased.
That was one thing up that I think we do a little bit differently that's really helped with our growth is we don't have a holders only chat for the Descendants. There is one for the Ancestors, but essentially our Discord chat that everybody talks in is just an open channel, and it helps bring in new people when they can come into a public chat and all the holders are there to answer questions and the team's there to answer questions where, normally you'd have a holders only chat and a public chat, and it kind of separates the newcomers from the original core community, where I think having them together has really helped us onboard new members that didn't know a lot about the project before.
Yes, I don't think I'm not such a big Discord guy. I'm more on Twitter, but I have never, like, I don't think I've ever seen the toxicity that we can see in some projects with it's a very calm community and very mature. I agree with you. So before we dive into the future of, because I know you guys have some exciting stuff coming up, I want to know, like, what has happened since mint, because you minted a little over a month ago. What has happened so far?
From a technical side of things, we have released our in-house staking platform, which is now working perfectly. We have also released our level up system, which was not that trivial to do, which was also built in-house. The whole code was written by our dev. We have set up the whole backend and front end on the mission, the Lost Descendants mission, which will go live tomorrow or the day after for the real mission. We'll be going to go get into that later. And as from an art perspective, the whole Lost Descendants collection was being drawn by Fluboss and hand cured by the team as well. And those were I think a little over 3,000 pieces that were generated with the newly drawn art and twists of Fluboss. And we curated those 3,000 pieces down to basically like 233. So we're super proud with what we were able to deliver in those 3 to 4 weeks. I think it's been like 4 weeks now since mint, and the community really appreciates that as well, because we're actually moving. Something is happening in our community and in our project, and we intend to continue with this as well. If you guys have read our roadmap, we're already ahead of schedule of the things we have planned in the future. Actually, we have to calm down a little bit with what we put out, because now we're gonna put our focus on the Lost Descendants. That's going to be our next focal point.
Yes, I agree with you. The tempo has been very, very good. I guess so far it has been a lot of stuff. TK, did you have a question?
So I kind of hit up with this question earlier. Want to know a little bit more. So since the Ancestors receive royalty from the Descendants and the Lost Descendants are coming, who's all going to receive royalties from that? Can that be leaked here?
That will not be leaked here specifically, but we have said that the Lost Descendants are purely art-based collection. However, we want them to play a bigger role in our universe, and we have already gathered some thoughts about gamification, playing with the metadata. So there's some exciting stuff coming up for our Lost Descendants. I don't want to spill the beans all at once now, but we'll have some spicy updates in the future.
All right, exciting. You also have a DNA token, right? And you can stake your descendants and ancestors to earn this. You can also upgrade your descendants to earn more DNA, right? And this is trading on famous foxes, right? Do you plan on taking it to a regular like Dex, Radium, and those type of places?
A liquidity pool is not planned right now, since our token should be here for fun and community events. For now, Famous Fox is working perfectly for us. The only problem is that nobody is really selling their DNA token, because if you would buy the whole DNA on Famous Fox, it would be enough for, I think, 3 or 4 mission entry tickets. But we'll see where the mission will take our token. We're quite excited to see it. I know for me, on my end, I'll be spending every last single DNA coin on the missions, just because I've seen what they look like and I know a little bit what we're planning with them. So it's gonna be exciting.
Awesome. All right, so let's dive into the Lost Descendants. I guess that's the next thing, the next hot thing coming in. Yeah, what is the Lost Descendants, and why are you making these Lost Descendants?
So I've always had an idea of gamifying a future collection, and the idea came about when we posted a sneak peek of a Descendant that was by accident purely like black and white and gray, and it had the most fire emojis on there. So I realized an opportunity there. So we curated all the gray and black and whites out of the collection, and we had a flu boss, some awesome new traits, some distortion. Maybe he can take over and talk a little bit about the art and the inspiration of the Lost Descendants.
Yeah, sure. I mean, it's like Up said, they are mainly black and white, which creates another whole dimension. But also they will have a few colors to put accents on certain attributes. On top of that, they will also have entirely new attributes I painted that I had inspirations for after the launch of the Descendants, basically. And the biggest part is that I actually took all the attributes of the Descendants and added every attribute again in a different way, basically. So it will be a bit like a remix in black and white with some color as accents, to put it like simply. And yeah, I mean, they're a little bit glitchy, a little bit more abstract. Who knows how they get lost. And yeah, I mean, I think every one of them will be unique and will be different, very different from each other.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I jokingly call them generated one of ones, because that's literally how they look like. Because every single attribute was, like Flubos said, a little edited and distorted in a way that will coincide with our lore that we've written around the Lost Descendants. And there'll be some new Discord roles coming up as well. So it's going to be a fun time the next few weeks for us.
Exciting. Yeah, I actually was on Magic Eden. I checked the collection page earlier, and I saw that there was already a Lost Descendants page on there with a little sneak peek, which looked great. So if I got it right, this is going to be 20 lotteries, right? With 13 Lost Descendants each. Is that correct?
Yes, there'll be 20 weekly lotteries, and there'll be 10 to 13 Lost Descendants to be won in every weekly lottery. And the DNA price of those lottery tickets will gradually go up in the future. So it makes sense to grab one early, because they're only going to get more expensive in the future as well. That, combined with the halving periods of our token emission, will make these missions pretty competitive. And the way to enter one of those missions is you need a level 4 descendant we talked about before. You need to level up your descendant in order to get more DNA, but also in order to even can compete in our Lost Descendant mission. But on top of the level 4 descendant, you also need 1,500 DNA to purchase said ticket. And whoever buys the ticket, if there's 90 entrants, all those 13 Lost Descendants will be basically raffled off with those with the X amount of entries. But if you enter twice with two different level 4s, you'll basically double your chances of winning. Or you could technically even win two. That's also possible.
Exciting. All right, so I'm gonna need essentially a level 4 Descendant and 1,500 DNA to participate, and that is the only way to participate, or is there any other way?
So we've gotten some feedback from our community since the first mission, or the missions in general, are so competitive. Some people may not are not in time to level up their Descendant or don't have enough DNA. And since we want everyone of the community to be a part of it and everyone to be excited and have a chance to win, our dev was nimble enough to answer my request for inputting a pre-raffle. So actually tomorrow there'll be a pre-raffle, and the price of that pre-raffle will be free mission tickets. The only thing you need is one Descendant, doesn't matter the level, and you can buy unlimited tickets for 100 DNA only. So that we just did that to get the whole community excited, and
Awesome.
it was well received. So we're pretty happy with that decision.
How many spots are you giving away with that?
We're giving away 5 tickets this time, but I'm already working on something for next week to make it to have the tickets that can be won in the pre-raffle. It will be in relation to the DNA spent on the pre-raffle, if that makes sense.
Makes perfect sense. That was what I was going to ask as well. And I also know you got a lore quest right now. Is that also a way to win?
Yes, the lore quest is over now. We had quite a few participants. Basically, what we did is we outlined the ritual, we call it, about how these lost Descendants came to life, but we didn't actually reveal how it happened, and we made our community write their interpretation of it. And the best ones, our lore master chose the best ones, and the best one actually won a free entry for the mission. And there was some more prizes in DNA. But stick around for at the end of this spaces. There might be another way to win a free ticket.
Ooh, all right. Keep this in here, guys. Don't let don't tweet this out or anything. All right, perfect. So I guess the next thing is Lost Descendants coming up, right? And I think we have a understanding of how to win a Lost Descendants, hopefully. What happens next after the Lost Descendants?
There's a few things we'll be working on simultaneously. One thing is, I know a lot of people ask me every day about this. There are 7 unrevealed, unminted ancestors that have still yet to find a home. So our task is to create a nice community engaging events around them, also while including DNA, of course. And we're going to build this in-house as well, of course. And that will be our next exciting thing, because I know a lot of people have been eyeing those ancestors, and most of them are out of reach. But this will give everyone a chance.
Ooh, exciting.
Another thing that we'll be working on, if you guys have read our white paper, we're going to build the Web3 solutions platform. Maybe we can go a little deeper into this in another spaces. But for now, what we are actively trying to build right now is a print service. So in our roadmap since the beginning, we had the step that we wanted to offer real life prints of the ancestors, and now also the Descendants. So we're making connections in the background to have this print service set up and hopefully automated. And these prints will be available depending on the quality in only DNA or in DNA plus Soul. And the whole goal of that is to have this whole process automated and offer that service not just for our holders, but let's say I know we have quite a few DGOT holders in our chat, and they've reached out to me. One of them have reached out to me and said, "Yo, I'll get 10 of my DGOTs printed with your print service if you somehow are able to automate the process and make it accessible with the Web3 wallet." And that's exactly what we're building right now. We want to have an automated print service that you can just simply pay with your Web3 Solana wallet, and have whatever print you want delivered to your home. And this service will not only be available for like a business to customer aspect, but also from a business to business aspect. Let's say if another project wants to have like 100 prints to raffle off for their community, they can come to us, pay a fee, and get the prints delivered to them, or just hit us up with the addresses, and we'll do the distribution for them. So that's just going to be one of the services we intend to offer in our platform. But more on that later. If anybody's interested, hop on in the Discord and read up on the white paper we're building, and some quite interesting and new stuff in the space.
Exciting. Yeah, I told you before, I cannot wait to have my ancestor as a print on my wall. I've saved a spot next to my where I sit and work. Odie, feel free.
That was literally what I was discussing. Doesn't matter. I was just discussing that in general, like when you're talking about the prints. I don't know if I heard it because it was cutting out a little bit, but will it be able to choose what of the ones I want or have the ones I own to be able to print the one and use the DNA and whatever it is to pay for it?
Oh, of course. You'll be able to print your own NFT, of course. Yeah. You basically, the idea is to automate the whole process just with the token ID, right? So all you have to do is type in the token ID, and the script will download the data on its own. So it will be whatever NFT you want printed, basically. Yeah.
Okay. So I can make 2 copies and send one to TK so he can admire mine from his house too.
For sure you could. Yeah.
Bro, don't you fucking
He's
dare.
finally gonna get his clown.
Don't
He's finally gonna
you-
get the clown.
Bro, don't you dare. Because I would hate to have to destroy something so beautiful out of spite that you sent me. So, don't you.
By the way, my girl
Blue
said
Box,
in the background, she said,
I don't think you're allowed to do a print of that specific one ever.
I'm just saying, TK, my girl said F off, just to let you know. F you, buddy. Side note. But yes, I will make sure I try to get 2 copies of that. Thank you for that idea.
No, absolutely not. That's not allowed of that, Blue Boss. You cannot do 2 prints of that one. Like, come on, bro. Help me out here.
Well, I'm Swiss, so I'm neutral, right? No, I'm. I don't know. Up will have. I don't know if it's possible to print and send it to another address, but I think everything is still in production. I'm actually super stoked because this will. I mean, for me, it's a special feeling. I mean, to have real prints of the art, even though, yeah, I don't know. It's the next step basically. So I'm super excited about this whole the reward about the real print that we're setting up, and also we have high expectations about having the best quality of this print. So yeah, it would be super nice.
Exciting.
So exciting, and then what he said, it won't be able to be sent to an address. I have to hand deliver it when I do it. Got it.
I mean, technically, the way we envision it, you could write down whatever address, and it will be delivered there. So,
I think you should verify those addresses when it comes to that one.
Well, that's the cool thing. It's Web3. It's decentralized. So
never send it to Ohio. I'll dox myself. Never send it to Ohio. That's where I'm at. Odie's in Vegas. I'm doxed him too.
All right, my friend. So this, no, but very like everyone keeps talking about in this, especially in the bear market, to create a business, sustaining business behind a project, and I can definitely see the demand. We have all these NFTs, right, and get it as a physical print would be sick. So yeah, exciting. Do you have any other exciting stuff coming up you want to share with the listeners?
Actually, yes. Everyone should put their eyes on our Twitter page. I'm about to trying to upload something on our Twitter page. It's a pretty big file, so let's see if it works. I'm hopeful.
And I already pinned up the Twitter on top, just in case anybody needs to just quickly click.
Okay, let me pin it. I'll pin it right now. Boom! There it is. Everybody, make sure to put on the sound. And I just pinned it to the top.
Let's see it. Taking some time to show up here. I guess it's coming.
Yeah, I just pinned it. Should have worked, hopefully. So the thing is, everyone who interacts with that video will be eligible to win a free Descendant mission entry. And we'll make sure to take the winner before the mission starts. So in 24 to 48 hours, we choose a winner.
Bro,
Alright.
it has a king. It has a crown of kings. Let's fucking go with that video.
Right, so just to recap, everyone who interacts with this video has a chance to win a Lost Descendants ticket, right?
Exactly. We'll be giving one away, as well as everyone who likes, retweets, and comments, and sends the proof in our Discord will receive an additional 100 DNA for free.
You heard it, guys. Go interact and post it in Twitter, in Discord. Where do we post it in Discord? Just to be clear.
I just opened a channel that's called Twitter Proof. Just send in your comments, your like, retweet, screenshot, and your wallet address as well, and you'll be receiving 100 DNA by Pro, and you'll be eligible to compete in the Last Descendant pre-raffle.
Let's go. All right, guys, you heard it. All right, we're running on the hour here. After this, we're gonna, of course, as always, just hang out in the after party and talk. We also have our friends project, Goblin Games, minting in 5 minutes, so we're gonna be talking a little bit about that, which is the first launch on our sponsors for the night, the Hyper launch, a launch pad. So if you want to join us there, feel free. But before we go, up, Flubos and Wald or anyone else, anything last you want to share with the listeners?
If you want to stay up to date, make sure to join our Discord. Thank you guys so much for listening. Thank you, Ad, whole pod team, TK, OD. You guys been putting so much work, and it's well appreciated. We love coming on here and talk about it.
Yeah,
For sure.
I can only support what Up says. A huge thanks for inviting us to the pod. And unfortunately, I have to hop off, so I cannot be there for the after party. But all the best for that. All fun, and hopefully we can do some other space in the future again.
For sure. This is not the last time we heard Descendants on the pod. I can promise you that. Right. Perfect, guys. Descendants, Flubos especially, thank you so much for taking the time and coming on, and Up as always. Every listener, appreciate you very much, as well as all the speakers. All right, guys. I'm closing this space, and we will be back in a minute. I'll post a tweet to the after party, which is not recorded, so anyone can speak about anything.
Yes, and then Goblin Games, aka Bill, will be speaking about his project in the beginning. Just so I know you asked a question about his project, so we will be there early on, so you can let the whole community know as well.
Perfect. All right. See you guys very soon. Thank you for coming on.
All right. Thank you.
You guys.